everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight, we're going to have fun again because we're going to be playing with the new card kit, the Breath of Sunshine card kit, and I'm going to be making an autumn card, and I might even get 2 autumn cards done, although I don't like to promise that because you know me, get a little chatty, or I take my time, or I change my mind, and sometimes it goes a little longer than I think. But I have some ideas here, and I have a beautiful color combination to share with you. And honestly, I think it's my favorite color combination of fall. I can't wait to show you. But before we do that, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
A breath of sunshine.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to miss my sunshine.
I know.
That's, but you know, a lot of good things about fall.
It's beautiful and it's been cool, but I think next week it's going to be actually in the 80s again here.
Well, okay.
So it's coming back. We're not done yet.
All right.
How have you been?
I've been better than horrible. Just running around. I caulked windows today. I was up on a ladder out in the parking lot and working on taxes. And I make the rounds here, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a very fun and active day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, are you ready for tonight's card?
I am ready.
Okay. Well, let's talk about color because autumn color, I've been using a lot of honey mustard and faded brick and, you know, warm cocoa and colors like that. But today I have a combination that is just a knockout, and I think that you're going to love it. Now, I'm still using honey mustard in there, but wait till you see the colors that I think are going to look great together. Let's pull them out here. So I have honey mustard, and I have tomato soup, prickly pear, tranquil teal, and turquoise sea. Isn't that just a beautiful fall palette? Now, we were talking about this in one of the other lives, and we were talking about how, you know, we needed to mix a little bit of turquoise into the palette. So this is, I think, my all-time favorite palette. And the stamp set that I wanted to use tonight for at least one of my cards is this one. This is, what is this called? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's called Harvest Silhouettes. Duh, Harvest Silhouettes. But I'm so focused on this stamp, and I think I'm going to just use the leaves tonight and do something a little bit different. And then I also thought I would bring in some of these dies. These are the Autumn Leaves die set. This is the free die set that comes with the kit. And this will be available by itself when our next kit, our holiday kit, debuts. And this one will go on sale for $19.95. But it's free right now if you get the card kit. So if you've been eyeballing this kit and thinking it's something that you want, this is included as a free gift. Okay, so I did play with these today, and I did a lot of die cutting, and I want to show you how pretty the little die pieces look because I think I'm going to do something like this for my second card. Look how pretty these are. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? So I don't know if this is bright enough. Maybe it looks a lot different on white. There we go. You see how pretty these colors look? So these are, yeah, sometimes when I don't know what to make, I'll just pick a die set and I will just cut a million dies and just keep them in my stash. And this actually gets my creative juices flowing when I'm just sitting there and I'm doing die cutting. I don't know. There's something about just those different die cutting pieces coming out that get me thinking, oh, you know, it would be pretty for this or that. So I was doing that today. Well, we have a piece of white cardstock here. So let's use this one and we'll cut it out. I'm going to cut it down to, let's see, I'm going to cut it, actually, I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4, and that should be by 5 1/2 for my first card. So for this card, I'm going to do some stamping, just some plain old everyday with an acrylic block kind of stamping. We don't really do that much anymore, and sometimes it's just fun to get back to basics. So let's use this stamp right here. This is from the Harvest Silhouettes. And what I love about these leaves is they're very grungy. And what's nice about a grungy leaf is if it doesn't stamp great, it looks like it's not supposed to. So I am going to clean these though, because I really haven't used these very much. Make sure I get some of that that manufacturing residue off of there. And I'm going to start right in with some Tranquil Teal. So I think I'm going to do just like background paper. You know how you make your own background paper? Well, this color combination is so beautiful. I feel like it needs to be a background paper. So I'm going to start with some Tranquil Teal. Let's see, that's looking pretty good. And I am just going to randomly stamp the, oh, look at that. Stamp a few of these leaves just in some random spots. And you can see I'm turning the stamp as I go. And the reason why I'm not going off the edge is because I'm going to die cut this with Master Layouts too. So I am going to cut off the edges. Yeah, I know. It's like some of you are saying, yeah, I never remember to go back to the basics. And I remember when I first started stamping, one of the things that we talked about was all you need is a sip to get started. That's all you need is a sip. And we weren't talking about fruit salad. We were talking about SIP, which stood for stamps, ink, and paper. And that's all you needed to get started. And when you think about it in that way, gosh, it's been, you know, a long time since we've just done a little sip. And that's all we're doing here. So let's mix in some honey mustard. All right, we'll see what this looks like. This is a beautiful color too. And we'll just get some, maybe we'll put one there. You know I'm going to love this combination. Oh, I love the grunginess of these. Does anybody remember that term from when you first started stamping? Just a little sip? Maybe it's just me. Okay, and we'll bring one in down here. We'll bring a little bit in over here. No, maybe I'll add some prickly pear there. I'm just going to do that for now. We can always go back, right? We can always go back. Now let's get that longer stamp. You never heard of SIP? Or you have heard of SIP? Oh, some people do remember it. I think that must have been a Stampin' Up thing, because when I started as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Well, I didn't start as a demonstrator. I started going to a party and they sucked me in. But that was the phrase. So all you need is a little sip, stamps, ink, and paper. And so then when I became a demonstrator, that's what I said. And it was true to a point. But then, you know, it's kind of hard when you see all the fun things. Ooh, tomato soup in there. Really trying to turn these as I go. That's a cool leaf right there. I love that leaf. Let's get one over here, right in here. So you can see I'm just trying to randomly stamp all over the paper. Now I can go back to a different leaf. So I think I'll go back to this one and I'll add like, maybe not that. Maybe I'll go to this one and I'll add a prickly pear in here.
Gina, do you know if this kit is still available?
Yes, it is. But it's getting very limited. I don't think we have that many. I think I saw them actually building the very last of them. You know, we buy the components to make a certain amount, and then once all the components are gone, they're gone. And I saw them working on them. So I'm thinking that they're getting kind of low. Okay, put one in here. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do one here. I don't think that's gonna show, but you never know, and you hate to have an empty spot when you had an opportunity. And then should I put a little turquoise sea in there? I think I should. Maybe a little bit. I don't know which stamp though. Should I just go back to keep going with this one because it's small? I don't think you'll really notice. Oh yeah, gotta have that turquoise in there.
Lucinda would like to know if you plan to make a card this year using real leaves.
Oh, like I did before? So I don't know if you guys saw that video that I made, but I actually went leaf hunting and I ended up making a card with actual real leaves, and it's super easy. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I might do another one. We'll see. Probably use a little splash of this color in here. And it's okay if we overlap a little bit, but I think let me get my die and see how this is going to cut out. Now, if you do something like this and you think, it just needs a little something more, like to fill in, I'd like to see a little more color. Let me grab something. Give me a sec. I gotta run across the room and find it.
Yeah, a few requests for some plum too. If you
Oh, plum. Oh, that would be really pretty too. Now, I didn't cut any plum. I don't have any plum cardstock, so I might stay away from plum today. But see this? This is the Autumn Wreath Builder. Now, if you just need a little something, I have this little image here that it's not real grungy, but it's grungy enough. And I feel like I need a little more tomato soup in this, so I'm going to randomly stamp some of these in these smaller spots. Like in here. And this gives me a little more tomato soup in the mix. Do one here. Do one up here. Because that's a color I feel like there wasn't enough of. Probably not even going to see that. Let's see what else we can do. We can even go smaller than that. I know we can. What do we have in here? So we've got, I know what I'll get. Hold on. We're having fun. I'm going to get the Mandala Maker 2. And I think I'm just going to put some simple little dots in here too, just to fill it out with some of the other colors. I love making my own pattern paper this way, just finding all those small little stamps that you weren't necessarily sure what to do with. Now in the Mandala Maker, there's a lot you can do with them for sure. But let's do a couple of Tranquil Teals.
No, the Wreath Builder has not been discontinued.
No, the Wreath Builder, actually, we got a shipping notice that our Wreath Builder templates are on their way. Isn't that cute? Just a little dot in there. Doesn't it just make it so fun? Let's add some other color dots in there too. We'll do some honey mustard. Yes, I love that, Lori. Thank you for the thumbs up. It would be really fun to reach 1,000. That would be really fun for me. And for Tom, right, Tom?
Yes.
So I'm just adding these randomly. So these small stamps are great when, you have like areas that are just too small for the stamps that you're working with, but you need to fill it out. And if you were going to buy pattern paper, see, that's the thing. That's what makes pattern paper so much fun, is you go to the store. Here's Turquoise Sea. You go to the store and you see these patterns in their leaves and you're like, oh, that's really pretty. But I don't think we think enough about what makes it really fun and interesting. And it's these little touches in here that really give it some extra interest. Okay. I think I'm going to put one more in there, maybe. All right. What do you guys think? Do you think that's pretty good? I think it's good. Okay. So I'm going to put this away. The Mandala Maker and the Mandala Maker 2 have a lot of these tiny little elements that work great when you're trying to fill in. So do all the Wreath Builder sets. They've got lots of tiny elements. And there might be tiny elements in other stamps that you have in your collection. So make sure you check them out and see. A lot of times there's stamps that you don't know what to do with, but they're perfect for this. Okay. Now let's get the die cutting machine. We're going to cut this out with Master Layouts 3. I think I might get to 2 cards today because these are such simple cards. These are just featuring lots of stamping, lots of color. And if you're not sure where to lay things out, I always try to start when I do a layout. I always try to start with 5, like a pattern of 5. And I feel like if you do that and then you get 4 of an opposite color somewhere else in those quadrants like that, everything else will look good. So it's really just the 5 main characters and then the 4 supporting characters, and then everything else just fills in. So I hope that helps. Some people like start off to the side, and then I think it just really makes a difference if you just go right into that 5 points. Okay, so this actually might make a really cute frame too. I might have to add something up here. I feel like I should because now I have a new idea. Sorry, guys. See, this is why my cards take so long. Because I have a new idea. I'm going to put a little tomato soup up here and a little bit down here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to this same stamp. And was that really loud? Sorry. I'm just going to add a tiny bit, like right up here. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. And then I'm going to do the same thing coming in over here. And maybe a little bit in here and over here. Because I just have this other idea and I feel like that finishes it off. You see what I mean? Sometimes it's fun to watch this kind of unprepared stamping, which you've been watching now for what? 5 years. It's unprepared. I'm very good at being unprepared. But the thing about it is when you watch it and like you kind of see my thought process, and I'd love to see your thought process because I bet we both think a little bit in unique ways and we could learn a lot from each other. Okay, so now I'm going to go back onto this here and I'm going to try to center this pretty well there. Should I tape or not to tape? That is the question. I feel like if I tape with pixie tape, no, you know what I'm going to tape with? I'm going to tape with Masking Magic because Masking Magic rarely lets me down. Pixie tape doesn't let me down either when I use it for the right things. But if I use it for something like this, I'm afraid of the possibility of it tearing the cardstock. Just because, not that it normally would, but when you're running it through a die cutting machine and you're putting so much pressure on it, that could do it. So let's just use Masking Magic. This still might be a little scary, but let's do it. Okay. Let's hope for the best. Okay, there we go. Now my idea initially, see how like on there that is, but it's Masking Magic, so it's gentle. So my initial idea was just to use this part with the cute little stitching, do my black outline, and then put it just on a plain white card base. But now I feel like this is so pretty that we might want to use it for the card front. So I'm going to cut a black panel using the plain die from the Master Layouts 2 die set. I know you're shocked that I'm using black. Well, for a couple cards there, I didn't use black, and it didn't feel right. My second card will take a tiny bit longer, but I have an idea. Not too long, though. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If we outline this, then we could put it on top of this and see how the pattern just continues, but you've got that black line that makes it pop a little bit. Do you guys like that idea? Let me go up a little bit. Do you like that idea? Let's look at that, and then I'm going to show you on just a white card base so you can look at the two, and maybe we can decide together. And if we come to a standstill, we can ask Tom what he thinks. So Tom, get ready to think. Prepare thyself. Okay.
Working on it.
So, all right. So a lot of people like that. Okay. And then here's the other option to have this and then the white card base.
So I don't have to think for this. I think that other thing was awesome when you do that.
You did like the other thing?
I really like that.
Okay,
yeah.
so if you like the first one, I think a lot of people liked it. But if you like this one, just say white, if that's your favorite, because that's the white card base. I think I like the other one. Use the border. Everybody say no to this one. I like the frame. Okay. All right, so this frame then, I mean, both are cute. But this frame will just go right onto the white card base then, right? It'll just be on top there. And then we'll be able to put this on top and it'll fill out and we get to use that whole border. Okay. All right. So I think it's almost unanimous that everybody likes the first one. Now, what I was thinking is we could, I mean, this is pretty busy. So we could just put a big fat grateful greeting on here in black with a white, or we could jazz it up a little more. And so here was my thought about jazzing it up, but you guys might say, no, 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 it's too busy. So I was thinking if we did this and then we got a little bit of vellum. So I have some vellum paper here. This is Gina K Designs vellum. Yes, good idea, Marty. Use foam squares to bump it up. I will do that, and that'll give us some dimension. I will do that. But here's my other little plan. So let's just look at this. I'm going to cut like a little border here that's about 2 inches, a 2-inch border. Oh, I can't see. Here's my glasses. 2-inch border that would be vellum. So you still get to see all the happy stuff that's going on in here. Well, first, I am going to tape these two pieces together because this is going to keep falling apart and it's going to drive us all nuts. So let's do that. This is just one of those nights where I don't really necessarily have any techniques, like major techniques. But I was thinking if we did something like this, you know, we put vellum on here just to kind of block a little bit of that out. And then we maybe used like this leaf. Maybe this leaf and maybe prickly pear like that, or even just the one leaf, like the one leaf in the center, and then we added a greeting over it. I have some strip sentiments here that might work. really nicely, but they're not cut out very well. So I might have to recut one, but something like that in the center. What do you guys think of that? Pretty, but less is more. One leaf and greeting. I feel like that's fun. I think if we got rid of the vellum, this would get lost. Let me show you what I mean by that. See how it doesn't pop out as much? If you don't have the vellum, you just don't see it. But if you have the vellum just mutes that background a little bit, and this stands out a little bit more. You don't like the greeting? But we got to put a greeting. We must have a greeting. We could do the greeting like on an angle a little bit like this. That might be kind of cute. This way we see a little more of the leaf. We kind of stagger it. And we could pick a completely different color leaf too. We could do like, that's too light, I think. Maybe the Tranquil Teal. I don't know, something about that tomato soup. I think that one pops the most. We'll look at honey mustard. See, they kind of get lost in the mix.
Do you have a dye layer behind the leaf?
I could do a dye layer. Yeah, I could do a layer behind the leaf so it stands out more. That's a good idea. Let's try that. That might be, oh, here I have one. I don't have to do the work. So let's look at that. I still think we need that little bit of vellum on there. And then if we layered these together, and of course, you know, we'll make it perfect together. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Whoever said that, kudos. I like that. I like that. Okay, one leaf with the greeting, and we'll go with the tomato soup, and we're going to add this little bit of vellum to it. So let me peel this back apart again, because when I do the vellum, I do like to go a little bit bigger than the piece of cardstock, and then I like to wrap the vellum around, because then you don't have to really worry about, you know, about seeing it on the front. The glue, I know people say strategically place the glue for the vellum under where your leaf or whatever is going. I can't do that. I'm not that good. I just put it somewhere and then I see it. Okay, so we got that there. I think we will die cut a big greeting for the next card. Yeah, it's just something different, you know, something a little different. And again, I know a lot of you have this card kit, or it's on its way to you. I would love you to see. I would love to see you do this, maybe with different colors. Like somebody suggested adding plum punch, and somebody suggested, you know, doing something different with the leaves. They like the 3 leaves. I'd love to see all your versions. Oh my goodness, I just ran out of tape runner. Let's get a new one. We can do it. It's still pretty early. It's only 7:30, and my next card is not going to take as long as this card, because I already think I kind of know what I want to do. But I kind of knew what I wanted to do here, and it changed about 15 times. So, oops, I didn't need that in the center there. But so I'm just lining it up so that it works out with the leaves. I'm most concerned about that one right there because of the stem. I think everything else looks pretty good. Oops. It does not look good. Need to go a little closer to the edge. It's like got no tape to stick to anything. Okay. Here we go. There we go. while to pick this up because it's all stuck. Such a ding-dong. Where's my pick tool? I gotta pick my cardstock up. Okay, and then this is gonna go, this whole thing is gonna go onto this white card base. So we gotta get a little around here. Thought I was bleeding, but it's just tomato soup. You gotta try these colors though. And I do agree, Plum Punch would be a nice one to add in there. But I was thinking of doing something different with cardstock initially, so I didn't want to do one without the cardstock. Okay, there we go. So now we have our card base. Tape all over my space. And now we'll grab the Connect glue. Let's get a little tiny piece of cardstock here so I can see what I'm doing. And we'll get some Connect glue and we'll glue these together. All right, Tom. So while I'm doing this part, do you have a word of the day?
Do I? Okay. So the word of the day is husband. Husband. That's 5 dads playing music in the garage. It's that simple.
That's the word of the day. Husband. Husband. 5 dads playing music in the garage. That's great. We need to find 5 dads in our neighborhood. Right?
Oh, I would love to.
Any musician dads in the Milwaukee area? Let us know. Have a little black spot there. Okay, so now we've got this leaf layered up. And we can do it straight up and down if we want. And then we can add this little thank you onto the side. And honestly, I think that would be super cute, just like that. Okay, let's do it. I'm just going to add some Connect back here. Here's where we have to be a little careful. Can't be so messy. Okay. So let me get my acrylic block. And we'll just put that on there to help. Oh no, I did forget to pop up the center and I said I would do it. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry about that. Oh, I did forget. Okay, well, I'll be doing that on another card because that was a great idea to pop the center panel up. You know, I need to look up more. I need to look at the comments. I got to have one eye on what I'm doing and one eye on the comments because if I had seen that, I would have done it. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. You're freewheeling here.
You're not kidding, right? Okay, so we're going to add a few little foam squares onto here. And I'm using these tiny ones, these 1/4 inch, but I'm going to cut them even tinier. Cut them in half. And I think I'm going to put them more over here. Somebody's going to win this card, and then I'm going to make one more. I'm going to get one more card out of this all tonight. I'd like to welcome everybody here. I think we've got more people here than we usually do, Tom. This is so nice. We've got all new people, and then we've got all my repeat offenders. So welcome to everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about that. It's stuck to my nail. You know, at least it's sticky. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so there's the first card, a very happy, bright fall card. Oh, my repeat offenders are like me. I'm a repeat offender. Okay, so that's the first card. Now let's make a second card here. So my thought on this second card was to get a quarter sheet of white cardstock. And then instead of using stamps to create that background, I'm going to go 4 by 5 1/4. That's good because we'll cut it down a little bit smaller. So instead of using stamps, I thought we could put the dies on here. We've got to get a few of each color. So I'm going to lay them out first to see what looks the best. And we're just kind of turning them as we go. This little guy didn't fall out. Add that there. So we're going to go off the edge a little bit, and that's okay to do. That's too close to that color. Let's get a honey mustard up in here. Seems a little sad to cut them, but we're not going to cut that much because they're going to be too pretty. Okay, so in here we probably need another Turquoise Sea. Like that. Do we have more teal for down here? We do. So you guys get the idea, right? Of what I'm thinking. And down here, honey mustard, because we don't have that color. And then we need one more thing up there. Probably another prickly pear would work up here. Okay, so that's going to be my layout. I know it's messy, but you got to lay it out first. I am glad you're a repeat offender too. So this shouldn't take too long. We can kind of go a little quick with the dots. We just need to make sure that we've got it in the position where all the petals are going to lay flat. Tom, I think I could use you over here gluing. This is actually now, you know, I'm going a little fast here, but when I craft, I really like to think about it as not a race. It's, you know, making a fast card, like, it doesn't win you any awards just because your card was made quickly. You can take all the time you want to make a card, and there's nothing wrong with relaxing and taking your time. So that's why sometimes I like to do cards like this, because it slows me down a little bit and it makes me enjoy the process a little bit more. But I am getting gluey.
Coming unglued, are you over there?
I wish I could come unglued. I'm becoming more glued. But I think this is going to be really pretty. And you know, we take the time to stack our die cuts, so why not just go flat with them and just kind of go all over. Yes, my pokey tool does hold things down. You're right. Okay. Try not to glue any dust particles on anything. You know how you get the little paper dust from your die cuts? Get this one on next. I think this is going to be a fun card when it's all done. And you know, these are really nice cards for masculine because the leaves are just kind of the masculine flower. And then also, for anybody that's a nature lover, I thought that one was glued down already. For anyone who's a nature lover, this is a nice card. And if you like these layouts and you think they're fun to make, you could just start making these. You don't have to put any greetings on them. And then you could cut a bunch of strip sentiments. Happy birthday, thank you, get well, so sorry for your loss, things like that. And then you could give that to a friend. So you could make a bunch of cards and then give them those strip sentiments separately with maybe a little tape runner or a little bottle of glue. And then they can custom make the cards when they need them with whatever greeting they want to use. You can make a little boxed set, different strip sentiments and a couple of these layouts. You could do the one that I did right before this, so that kind of like it's a color scheme, you know, you're using all the same colors so they look really nice all boxed together. And this is like an any time of the year card. It's not necessarily super autumn because there's leaves on the trees any time of the, you know, like in the summer and in the spring. And these are very graphic. So even though they do represent autumn leaves because we're in autumn and we're thinking about it, if you did these all in bright greens and other colors, it would definitely be very pretty for summer cards or any time of the year. I know, right? Before I was card making, I agree. I would have loved a gift like that. There's something about handmade cards too. I've told you guys this before, but maybe for some of our newer friends who've just joined us, I made my mom a lot of handmade cards, you know, for her birthday and for her and my dad's anniversary. Just different kinds of cards. And when she passed away, my sister and I were cleaning out her apartment, and I was cleaning out her dresser drawers, not her dresser drawers, her nightstand. And she had every card that I ever made her in there. It was packed with handmade cards. And it's funny because she had those cards and a couple of cards that my dad had given her. And that was it. It was like those handmade cards were so special. Although I told you this before too, my mom liked big cards. So she was a big fan of a 5x7. She thought the size of the card determined the size of the love. So she would have liked a slim line, but she wouldn't have been keen on a mini slim line. She was funny. But it just goes to show you that a lot of times, you know, we think, oh, do people really appreciate our handmade cards? And then, you know, something like that happens and you go and you clean out your mom's stuff and you just see all of the cards that you ever made. It's so touching. So that's what we're going to do here. See, I just looked up and saw some of your comments, and a lot of you are saying that your moms too. Same way. I didn't hand make cards before my grandma passed away, but I bet she would have kept every one of them too. She was like that. She was very sentimental. And it's funny because I have a few times Alicia and Rena and I had gotten together and made cards. And Alicia is much more the artist, so she would just draw things instead. I have every little drawing that she ever did for me, and I'll keep them forever. So, we're sentimental creatures. And handmade cards, somebody takes the time and the effort to make them. It's really sweet. And then you get to the holidays and somebody makes you a gift of handmade cards where you can use them to brighten other people's day. That's really special. Okay, I think we're good here. I think we got them all on. There we go. And now we're going to trim this down a little bit. And then we're going to add a nice big bold greeting. And maybe instead of stamping, we'll just randomly put a few little pearls. When will we know what? Oh, I missed that comment. Tom, can you go back and check some of those questions? Question, when will we know what was in the bow? I can't give you that answer just yet, but I am hoping for sometime in November. That's my plan. Okay, so I'm going to carefully cut these. I had to cut a straight line first. So now I'm going to cut this to about 5 inches this way. So I'm going a little above it here. I know it's very exciting, and I really cannot wait to share it with you. This is going to be 3 3/4 of an inch here. And then this is going to be 5 inches this way. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. I know, but I've got something. So it may be earlier. I've got one other really exciting thing coming out before that, but it's not here yet. So it really depends. That's why I don't want to make a commitment, because if the other thing gets here first, then I'm definitely going to release that first. So I think you'll all be excited. I promise you'll be excited. Okay, so we're going to cut this down. And this could be cut with Master Layouts 1. This is 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/8 of an inch. But here's the thing. If I release it in November, I could maybe release it with our Black Friday stuff, and then it would be on sale. So that would even be better. So consider that. I know you don't want to wait, but consider that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on top like that. And then let's cut that big Grateful die out. Do we want to do Grateful? Or do we want to do just a little strip sentiment? And this should go on a white card base too. So let me cut another white card base out. I'm doing these book fold. Oh, that's bright. Sorry, guys. We knew we were going to be working with some vibrant colors, so we wanted to have a lot of light so you could see the color. But when there's nothing but white, it's very bright. Grateful. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, we're all kind of in that season of gratitude mood. So I don't know if you guys believe in astrology at all, but I got to tell you, there are 7 planets in retrograde right now. And so if you feel a little insane, that's why. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty with that white border. Is my paper cutter the mini one? My paper cutter is by We Are Memory Keepers, and we sell it in our store. It is a mini paper cutter. I do have a big paper cutter too, though. When I do my tent style cards and I need to cut boy, I didn't nail that at all. I need to cut like an 11 by 4 1/4. I need to use a bigger paper cutter. So I have a big tonic paper cutter that I love. It's just like the Tim Holtz one, big But for my videos, because my workspace is so small here, and I know it probably looks big, but it's not. So, of course, we could do just a little strip sentiment on here, but I think grateful. I like that idea of grateful, and we can use the shadow too. So let's get that die out and we'll cut those. We're going to need a white piece. Here, let me find that die. I know it's in here. Here it is. So I'm going to use the grateful and the shadow, because I think the grateful, again, on all this color might get lost. But we could do it on vellum. So we could do the shadow on vellum. We wouldn't put the vellum over the whole thing. I'll try cutting 2 shadow pieces here. Got the die cutting machine out. Got the masking magic on standby if we need it. I think we will for this. Cut this out on the white piece. And where is the little black piece? Here's some black cardstock. Here's a little black piece. We could cut these out at the same time to save some time. I'm cutting this on its back, so I'm putting the cardstock on top because it's more detailed and it's easier to cut that way. Oh, you like the black borders? I think they make such a difference. I really do. I'm going to send this through a second time just to be safe. But I'm going to cut this out of vellum. I think that'll fit. Yeah, that should fit. And we're going to run this through a second time. Well, maybe not. It's coming out pretty good. It's like falling out of the die, so I don't know what my problem is. But I think it's pretty good. It's a very delicate die. So you do have to be a little careful when you push it out of your cardstock. Watch me rip it while I say that. See what I mean? It's poke these little parts out. Okay, so there's grateful. So what I'm saying is, if you put this grateful right on here, you can't really see it. You see what I'm saying? But if you put it on the shadow die, then it will pop a lot more. I actually like it on the white. I don't think I'm going to like it on the vellum. I don't think the vellum's going to be strong enough because these are bold and they're cardstock, so they're very bold. So let's just go with what we got here. We will layer this up together. Where'd my little cardstock piece go? Oh, here it is. My gluey parts. So we're going to, now this is coming up a little bit. I think I must have waited too long for this one. So let's get a little glue under there. We'll just put it down. Put that aside. Okay. So I'm going to glue this here. I'm going to have to refill my fine tip bottle. It's almost time. I should just do what Jennifer does. Jennifer and I were crafting together one time at a little girls' weekend we went on. And she brought like, I don't know, she must have had like 10 fine tip bottles all filled with glue, and she just glued die cuts together the whole weekend. And she had all her little bottles, like little soldiers, all in a row, ready to go, so she didn't have to refill any bottles. And she told me that they're all over her house like that she uses them for other things too. It's so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to glue this to here. Now when you're doing this, just do a little bit at a time. You don't have to be a hero. You don't need to be a hero. Just go slow. A bit at a time. That's the thing. You think a lot of these YouTubers are fast at this, but sometimes it's just that it's sped up. It looks like they're fast. Some of them are fast. I am not. Just have a lot of little shreds here I want to get off. It should be okay. Alrighty. Let's add this to the card and let's not put it on backwards. You know what's nice though? You could do this card either way. It could be a horizontal card like this, or it could be vertical. It doesn't really matter. We'll put that there. And I'm just going to put glue on the back. And I'm going to just let it catch wherever it catches on those die cut pieces, and the rest will just dry. So I'm not worried that it's not stuck down everywhere. But I am going to put glue all over the back because I definitely want it to just catch where it's going to catch. Okay, let's do it right here. And of course we could do the acrylic block again, just to put a little pressure on it. And then let's put some black dots in there. I think the black pearls would be perfect for this. I gotta pull them out because they're hard to turn over. Okay. Still have a little bit of stuff in here, but I'll pick that out before I take the picture. I just have to go in with my craft pick and just clean it up. Get my Swiffer duster. Okay. So let's just fill in these little areas with some little dots. And we're kind of like using these little pearls the way we were using that little round stamp. We're just filling in empty spaces with these. And then it's bringing a little bit of black in here, which really accentuates that little line around the perimeter. Let's get a few more. So cute. So normally, oh, there's one right there. Normally, I don't use quite so many little embellishments, but in this case, because we're using them more like a stamp, I feel like I just want to really even the space out and get them in all over. I'm using all my little ones for this. So once you get some down, you can kind of see where you need a few little extras. Come on, turn over. Oh, it's fun. Now, if you like more shimmer and shine, you could add gold ones instead, or silver ones instead. I think it needs one up there. Or you think this is good? I think it's pretty good. Although, maybe one right there. Just right in there. Seems like an empty spot. If I was doing a stamp, I would have done one. So I'm just going to do one. Oh, there's two stuck together. Those two are in love. I better leave them. There we go. That'll make me happier. Okay. So let's look at these two cards together. Let me put my little gems away. Let's look at our two cards that we made tonight. We made this one and we made this one. And I think they coordinate nicely together, so they would work in a boxed set for sure. Okay, well, it was so much fun. What do you think, Tom? Do you like these?
I love them. They kind of wake you up.
They do, right? And I think we could have added black into this if we wanted to, like did some black dots instead. But I kind of like that this one feels bolder with the die cuts and the black dots and the bold greeting, and this one feels a little bit softer. Two different styles, same color palette. Love it. All right, Tom, so let's give these cards away.
All right.
All right, let's start with the first one.
First card. Let's do a cheesy drum roll, please. Yes. First card goes to Helen Bub. Helen Bub.
Helen, yay! Congratulations, Helen. Woohoo! Okay, and now this second card, the die cut card. Isn't it funny? It feels like this card had, because I didn't die cut everyone on screen, maybe that's why, but it feels like it's got so much more going on and it took less time. All right, who's this one go to, Tom?
The Grateful Leaf card goes to Joyce Thompson. Joyce Thompson.
Yay! Congratulations, Joyce. Joyce and Helen. All you have to do is send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and I will get these cards out to you. All right, guys, so we have a premiere coming up on Thursday. We love premieres because we have pre-recorded a live style video, but Tom and I get to chat with you in the comments, so we're very excited about that. And then I definitely have a 5-minute card coming up this weekend for you. I'm actually going to debut that one on Friday, so stay tuned for that. So I will link the premiere coming up so you can set a reminder for that one. And yeah, we can't wait to chat with you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. We love hanging out with you. We love all of your input, and you really make our night. Stay safe, stay healthy. We love you so very much. And mwah, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.